wrestling.
Here we are, fans. A match that also spilled out of yesterday's great showdown in Southport Beach Bash. Fatal four-way for the UPWA Tag Team Championship. Team Sexy, right front. The current champions defending against Inked Awesome, left front, back left corner, First Generation, and the Dyna-Mos. And for all you fans who came out to Southport or have bought the DVDs, I'll tell you what, exciting tag team action we had yesterday. This resulted, First Generation and Team Sexy were wrestling each other, double disqualification. As you can see, Big Dave there with the marks. That's not a new fade, fans. That's a haircut he was given against his will in Southport by First Generation. That match ended at DQ, double DQ, excuse me, and then Inked and Awesome came out. Little buff John Graber there, and Mike Orlando on the outside came out, interfered, and then the Dyna-Mos came out, and even the odds up. And as you see, John Graber doing push-ups a la Scott Steiner, just showing up his opponent for no other reason.
Now, you made this match personally yourself after the conclusion of the tag team match yesterday.
And sit-ups here. Yeah, the problem I had was we promise these fans matches, and we're not like other companies where we say we're going to do something and not deliver. If we tell you we're going to deliver a championship match, we're going to deliver. The only time there'll be a change in the championship match is due to injury or extenuating circumstances. This match, we promised First Generation and versus Team Sexy, ended in a DQ. The other two teams were very impressive in their matchup. We decided that the team that would be most impressive on the 4th would get the title shot on the 5th. We decided all 4 teams were deserving in some way, and that's what we've gone with here.
Looks like we've got Mighty Mo in the ring.
Tagging in the Mega here.
These two have an interesting look, an even more interesting style, but effective.
Running knee into a side slam, innovative maneuver, very influenced by Japanese wrestling, luchador wrestling, and anime.
But that eclectic mix of different styles, it's what got them to the dance. They are in a championship match.
As you see, Buff Graber going over and going in the First Generation, tagging James Anthony, it looks like.
Anyone can be tagged from any corner, and what is this?
Anyone can be tagged at any corner, and the first pinfall, the team that picks it up will be the UPWA Tag Team Champions. So, for example, Team Sexy's the champions. They may not even be involved in the pinfall. They could lose their titles.
A stipulation that completely takes them out of the championship advantage, and they can't be too happy about it, but here they are, fighting champions.
And you see there, James Anthony coming into the ring. Big Dave, who had his head shaved by James. James wanted nothing of it, brings Victor in, his partner, wants nothing to do with the big man. He's saying, you shaved my head, come on, get some. James Anthony, you're giving up a couple 100 pounds there. I wouldn't want to get in the ring either. Leapfrog by Victor, they're just laying the punches in. Action's fast and furious in these types of matches.
Oh, and there's the strength advantage. And again, I don't know if it would be a wise decision to get into a slugfest with
not with a man like Dave. And you were talking about the eclectic styles of the Dyna-Mos. We've said it before. Well-rounded wrestlers. Just held him up, one hand, posed, and dropped him. But we talked about the different types of styles and how everybody's well-rounded and versed in different styles of professional wrestling and different genres, and it's so evident in this match. You have if you look at it, you have the old school style, well-rounded of Team Sexy, the quick tags. You have the Japanese style of the Dyna-Mos. You have the new Southern style of First Generation over there. Very cocky, very flamboyant. And you have the very strong style of up north, the Northeast. Buff Graber, Mike Orlando, 2 New Jersey natives. Very versed in the hard-hitting style of the Northeast. A very well mix of 4 different styles, and you only see this in UPWA.
That's what makes us the best in North Carolina.
Hell, it makes us the best on the East Coast.
Agreed.
Victor taking over here on Mark. Drags Mark to the center of the ring. It's every team for themselves, but they can tag in everybody else if they'd like. The only thing you're doing is you're taking a gamble that while you're out of the ring or your team's not in it, you're not involved in the pinfall.
Pinning predicament, yeah.
The one thing I'll say is obviously you see First Generation and Team Sexy battling in the ring here. Inked and Awesome and the Dyna-Mos, it's really except for Buff Graber, they're kind of catching their breath here. They're fresh. So it's kind of a catch-22. Do you want to be fresh, or do you want to somehow get involved in the decision? And I wouldn't be surprised if some of these guys are near the corner and you see tags made without the person reaching for a tag. Just because they want to get in there, they want to get that chance of competing for the titles. And you see, Victor could have went to any corner. He brought his own partner.
Ooh, Wishbone.
Let's see if their wish of becoming tag team champions comes true. Nearly a 3 count.
And drops a nice solid elbow.
James, the latest man in this match, but the highest flyer, and just springboarding off those ropes with the elbow. And as you see, both other teams trying to get in there, and they're telling each other, we got to get in there and break this up. We need the gold too. This essentially has become a 2-team matchup with Inked and Awesome and the Dyna-Mos kind of watching on here. And you see, Mike Orlando breaking it up. Throwing a cheap shot there, too. These men were on the same side yesterday, if you remember. They were laying the beat down on Team Sexy, but now
it's every man for himself here. Well, every team for himself, I should say.
Victor Andrews with that huge dropkick. And now he's going to go over and get Mike Orlando's face. And that's what we're talking about. Buff Graber. Little Buff smart. Just basically goes over there. Mike Orlando goes Victor in. Now Inked and Awesome is involved, and they're taking the scraps of Team Sexy. Here comes the big man, Mike Orlando. Whips him off the rope. Back elbow.
Ooh!
Jumping elbow, drops him. I think Inked and Awesome, and they're posing in front of the Dyna-Mos, men who they have fought up and down the East Coast. Inked and Awesome is in control here, and they could be the new tag team champions. And here's what we talked about with these type of matches. One team does the damage in First Generation. A miscue spits right at Dave. But a miscue, and now Inked and Awesome is taking advantage of the beatdown that the First Generation has put down on Mark. But Mark's firing back. That's the heart of a champion.
Oh, again, this is not where you want to be.
Back and forth. Clothesline. I think Mark saw that, but he couldn't even get his arms up. He's so exhausted from what's going on. You're not going to beat Master Mark that. You got to hook the leg. Tag to the big man. Drops an elbow in the ribs. And look at this. He's just taunting his partner, holding him so he can't make the tag, just out of arm's reach.
At this point, the Dyna-Mos are both entirely fresh.
See that short drop kick right to the middle of the back, right to the back of those ribs. Oh. He's trying to knock the breath out of Mark here. I think they focus on, and as you see, just the cockiness doing sit-ups after he drops the elbow. And I'll tell you what, Victor Andrews doesn't come in and make that save. Inked and Awesome's walking out with the titles. I don't think Mark was kicking out of that. It looks like Mike had a little problem with Victor Andrews getting involved, but goes for the double drop kick in the corner. Take his eyes off Mark. I think that was a mistake, but Mike, I think, was more a little upset for the interference, but he has to realize turnabout's fair play. He did it earlier.
Oh, absolutely. And remember, you're in there with a champion. You can't take your eyes off a champion. They have those belts for a reason. We have nothing but the best here in the UPWA.
Buff Graber up into the second turnbuckle. Beautiful. You see the air he caught? He almost looked like he jumped off the top rope. He got so much air on that.
Fantastic.
We've talked about focus for some of the wrestlers. They're so busy trying to show off their moves. I think if he went for the cover, he had a shot at walking out with the tag team titles. Snaps him over. And this has basically become Inked Awesome versus Magnificent Mark. Taunting the Dyna-Mos.
Oh, nobody home.
He was going for the splash on the second rope. Missed. Right now, it's anybody's matchup.
Oh, he's got to make a
tag. And they're both
tag.
in the corners.
He's got to make a tag.
Fans are firing up. They want Mark to make the tag.
He's got it.
And Buff is it. Oh, clothesline by Big Dave. Another one.
Oh, Big Dave is on fire.
Scoops him up. Drops him in the middle of the ring.
1, 2. Ooh, looks like Dave just took a shot to the knee. Ooh, Insaguri.
Right across that nice hairline that he got now from First Generation. Hit him right in the bald spot. No cushioning from the hair there. And here he is, doing a couple more push-ups.
Oh, this is time wasted. You're in there
He
with
should
the
be
tag team
capitalizing on it.
champions.
I agree. He needs to be capitalizing on it. Setting him up. Trying to go for a big power move, but obviously Dave outweighs him by a ton.
Up and over.
Just drove him back. Goes and tags in Mark. Side slam. Big leg drop by Dave.
And Mark goes for the cover. 1, 2. Oh, and broken up. Saved.
Dyna-Mos are in. I did not see a tag. I think the Dyna-Mos are just fired up. They're upset with not being able to get into this match.
They've spent too much time on the apron. They're ready to rock and roll.
Referee giving him a little leeway here. Oh! Took out First Generation. Mega took out James Anthony. Mighty took out Victor Andrews. Running knee into a backside. Unbelievable. The high-impact, innovative maneuvers.
Referee calls legal man. Oh!
Spine buster here by Orlando. Swanton. Referee's losing control over who's who here.
There's just carnage everywhere. He's just trying to regain control of this matchup.
I have been informed that you couldn't see on camera if you back at the corner, James Anthony was tagged in, and then one of the Dyna-Mos tagged in against him, hit him in the back, and tagged in himself. As you cover here at Buff, Victor Andrews makes the save. So the legal men, as of right now, from what I could tell, are Mark and...
Oh, super kick.
Back kick by James. Oh! Reverse blockbuster there on Dave. Victor Andrews is going up. I think the referee, we've lost control over who's legal. Victor Andrews up in the sky. Drops the elbow from the heavens.
Wow, he jumped so high we actually lost sight of him through our cameras.
James Anthony getting taken out here by Mike Orlando. The Dyna-Mos in the ring. Shoulder tackle by James Anthony. Inked and Awesome. And the Dyna-Mos are out here brawling. Looks like...
Oh, are they thinking...
They're thinking something. They got bad intentions.
Oh!
Suicide dive.
Oh, but look at the position he's left in.
Mighty's going in. Dave with the pickup.
Super sexy.
Super sexy right in the middle of the ring.
1, 2, 3.
Team Sexy retains the tag team titles.
Wow, what a matchup. I gotta say, that was a great idea. Fantastic matchup that you set.
And we talked about the 4 top teams. I would not be surprised to see Inked and Awesome, the Dyna-Mos, and First Generation in the 7th annual John J. Ratty Memorial Tag Team Tournament. But still, your UPWA Tag Team Champions, Team Sexy.
They really earned this one.
Yeah, the top teams here, and just a great showing.
Hey buddies, don't forget to follow me on Twitter. You can search @BuffGraber. If you use Instagram, just look for me. You can find me at @Buff_Graber. Also add me as a friend on Facebook, just find Buff Graber. And if you haven't already, you can show me a little love by subscribing to my YouTube channel.